introduce our first speaker. Is Kimberly Hall here? Oh,
No, I'm over here.
There she is. Kimberly is a recovering addict and abuse and trauma survivor. She's gone on, though, to raise 2 children, 2 thriving and beautiful daughters, and has built multiple successful businesses. But what's really awesome is she uses her personal experience to actually share her true passion, which is to empower women to be heroes in their own stories. So without further ado, Kimberly Hall.
Hello. How are you doing? So first of all, I just want to say it right off the bat. I feel like the honored one being allowed to come here and talk to you ladies. And the first thing that I want to take a moment to do is, if you would be so willing, just stand up for a moment. Every single one of you stand up. I'm not going to make you do calisthenics. And I want you to applaud yourself. That was like polite. I want you to freaking applaud yourself, like you mean it. Thank you. I want you to think about keep going. Everything you've done to get here today. You understand? You need to celebrate yourself every single day, multiple times a day. You can sit down. Because I want to applaud you, but me applauding you really is not as important as you applauding yourself. And that is the main thing that I want to talk about today. I know, being a mother of 2 amazing, beautiful girls, that being a mother is for sure the hardest job that I never knew I was going to have. And it's also the most rewarding job. But I can't speak from your experiences and what you've been through and how you've gotten here today, because they're your own. And we all have our own story and our own struggles. We're going to talk about that today. But I have a very wonderful, active, participating husband. And I question some days, how did I get through this day with my children having all of their parts still attached and kind of clean? Like, let's not get carried away, right? So I just find you guys all remarkable, and I've heard some that, if I'm not mistaken, not everybody gets to come to this event. Is that correct? This is an earned event? Yeah, so heck, applaud yourself. When I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, this is a big one that I think is sometimes overly looked. You are enough. And I know that we could all kind of nod our heads, but we're going to go deeper into what that means and how do we get to a place where we even question that. And in the questioning of that, what does it do? So I thought, though, that in order for me to truly share this with you, I wanted to start off by making sure that you understand why I'm even here today, why I feel like the purpose was placed on my heart to put myself out there to start talking to other women. Because it's something that I've actually avoided doing for most of my life. But I always feel like there is a purpose placed on your heart and whispered to you on a regular basis, and we a lot of times push that down out of our own fears. This is my why. This is me. All right? You can take in the cuteness, it's okay. Robin overalls, okay? And this is my mom. So my mom is my reason, and it might not be for the reason that you think. Now, I do love my mother. She's my mother. Without her, I wouldn't be here, okay? But my mother, and our mothers are our first mentors, are they not? They're who we model ourselves to be. They're the example of the first woman that we know and we see. And of course, like any little girl, I adored my mother in so many ways. But my mother, you look at our family here, we look like a pretty well put together family, yeah? Typical family of 4. Look, we play soccer. I have pigtails. We had a lot of the typical middle class things that you would think would make from the outside a pretty amazing family. Very large house. I never wanted for really anything materialistically. But inside our house, was another story. My mother met my father when she was 17. She got pregnant right away and walked across her high school graduation pregnant. She lost that baby when he was less than a year old due to SIDS. My parents decided to stay together, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. But it was a very abusive marriage, constantly. The dysfunction, the abuse, which leveled to a point where I'm not sure how we all made it out alive. So what does that have to do with being enough? As a young adult, I had a lot of anger towards my mom. I thought, why would my mother put us in that situation? Put herself in that situation? Why would she allow any of us to be treated that way? Because simultaneously, I believed, and I still believe, that my mother loved me, right? Now, through my own travels and paths and overcoming obstacles, the realization that I've come to is this. My mother didn't know that she was worth anything more. She didn't purposely stay there because she enjoyed going through that again and again and again and again and again, or watching her children go through that. And I can't tell you how many times my mother has said to me how her biggest regret is that she stayed. But she stayed because she didn't understand that her worth, her value were so exponential that to allow anyone to treat you less than the absolutely incredible human being that you are is not okay. I don't have anger towards my mother anymore. I have compassion. I feel bad for her. I feel bad that something occurred in her life that made her blind to seeing that she deserved better and that she could leave and she could figure it out. And so I can't go back in time. I can't change that for my mother. But if I can reach one woman, and your story may not be this, but whatever variation of that, where you allow the things in your life to occur that are anything less than what you deserve, because you're afraid, because of your evidence from your history that tells you you can't do better, then this story was for a reason. We all have the choice to take what happens in our life and learn from it and use it as the biggest amount of ammunition to do amazing things, or we can allow it to drag us down to the bottom of a lake like rocks tied to our ankles. But you get to make that choice. There I am, right? Now, I don't bring this in there just so you can all say how cute I was, although you can say that. But we come into this world and we have all the belief in the world, don't we? We don't have these preconceived notions of what we are not or what we are lacking. And as we go through our experiences in our life, we start to gain evidence. Two types of evidence. Evidence of what you're capable of, or evidence of what you think you're not. And when the evidence starts mounting heavier in one category versus the other, your choices start changing. Now, you look at this baby. Do you see a drug addict? No. But that's what I became. I attempted suicide more than once. Now, if I had understood that I matter, would that have ever happened? No, I didn't think I mattered. I didn't think if I left this earth that anything would change. I didn't report that. Why didn't I stand up and report that? It didn't matter. I didn't matter. I dropped out of college. Now, I don't regret that. You know, these are all things that have shaped my life, but is that who I am? Are these who I am? Do these have to decide who I become? No. So, it is the inner story that we tell ourselves that either propel us forward or hold us back. You are the author of your story. And I don't know what your story has been, but it's been something. But you're here today, are you not? You are still here. Your chapters have not been finished. You get to write them. Now, that's a little pixelated. That's okay. They don't look like that in person. I promise. Okay. You're like, what are your children? All right. These girls here. These are my evidence. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, and they freak me out, dude. Okay? Let me tell you why. They think I'm like the greatest thing ever. That was really hard for me when I was a new mom. Why do these girls look at me like I'm so amazing? I make so many mistakes. Whoops. Like that one. Every single day, I counted the mistakes and where I fell short and where I wasn't good enough and how am I going to teach these girls to be thriving women when I myself am so lost? But here they are, beautiful, thriving, and happy. When I was in my younger years, I made a very decisive decision to not have children. Now, it wasn't because I didn't like children. It wasn't because I was bitter. It was because I was convinced, because the story in my head said, you have come from a dysfunctional, abusive home. You have been a drug addict. You have dropped out of college. You have been homeless. Who do you think you are to have children and do anything different with them than what's been done to you? So I decided the most responsible decision was to just not have any. I won't perpetuate the cycle, so I won't participate. I'm really glad to stand here today and tell you that I was really wrong. That was a really bad decision to make. Because not only was I destined to be their mom, but they are the reason that I have become who I am today. And you guys, not if you agree, your children every single day make you want to be better. Do you agree? Abso-freaking-lutely. It is because of them that I started making some hard decisions to change the dialogue in my head. That is what I want to talk about. What are the things that go on in your head? What do you say to yourself? Maybe you don't say it out loud, but what are the words that you say over and over and over on a daily basis until they become white noise? I'm unwanted. I am broken. Oh, I bother. I'm not good enough. I am too much. What do you believe about yourself? Because what you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis is what you become. And if the dialogue is constantly like, I'm failing, I'm not good enough, I'm not providing enough, how am I going to get through this? Then that is your reality. Change the inner dialogue. Here is the biggest thing I want you to take away today. You do not need anyone else's support or belief in you. Now, hold up a second. Is it nice to have people that support you? Is it nice to have people that believe in you? Yes? You're full of a room of it right now. It's nice. Does it help? But get this. It's not essential in order for you to become what you were intended to become. It's nice. Hear this again. But it's not essential. But you know what is? Can anybody guess? You're like, no, that's why you're here. Your belief in yourself is essential. It is not optional. If you doubt your ability, your worth, your value, your unseen possibilities, you won't get there. How many of you, raise your hand, have had somebody in your corner that have just breathed belief into you and love into you beyond belief? Raise your hand. I hope. If not, I'm going to come around and hug y'all. But yet, it didn't seem to be enough. Because it doesn't matter what the people around you say or what they see in you. What do you see in yourself? I used to look in the mirror and see somebody who must not be loved. Because why would all of these horrible things happen to me if I was of value and capability? So, again, looks good. Now, I'm not showing you this to be like, you guys need to go jog around the block or something, okay? I'm showing you this to prove something. So here I am, 85 pounds heavier, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I was 85 pounds heavier. Because I wanted to be numb. I finally overcome my seemingly endless addiction to cocaine, and I replaced it with food. And you know when I would eat? When nobody was there. And here was my big trick, so that somehow my husband wouldn't know that I was like having an affair with Oreos every night. If I finished the entire thing and then stomped it down to the very bottom of the trash can, nobody knew that the Oreos were ever there. Do you know how many times I hid in my closet eating? And knowing the whole time, this is not what I should be doing. I had suffered a miscarriage between my two children, and I thought that it was payback from things that I had done in my life. And I started medicating myself with food and pain pills and wine. And I was lost. So what happens between this and this? I could tell you that I found the most amazing nutrition plan, and I never wanted to eat Oreos again, right? Yes, I do. I do want to eat them every day. They were good to me once. It's like that old boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Guys, you can close your ears. You know that old boyfriend. You know they're not good for you, but you keep calling them. But I decided that that wasn't going to be good enough anymore for me. If I wanted to have another child, then I'm going to have another child. But I'm going to become healthy, and I'm going to become happy, and I'm going to start treating my body and my life like the way it was meant to be treated, which was of the most valuable, precious thing that I have. I guarantee you, because you're all mothers, that you put people in front of you all the time. Would you do anything for your child? Is there anything you would not do for your child? Anything? Would you go into a burning building? Would you lay down your life for them? And that's amazing, isn't it? It's like a love that you never knew could exist. But then let me ask you this. Why do you deserve less? How much do you think your children love you? I get a bar from you. I can tell you, if you don't know, you are the most important person in their life. I mean, I know you probably get that, but do you get that? And in their eyes, you are that bag of Oreos and Mario, okay? What if we, on a daily basis, treated ourselves the way that our children see us? Do you see where I'm going with this? And what that means is that your self-treatment, who you allow to spend time with, how you allow people to talk to you, how you talk to yourself, every single day matters. None of it is okay. Do you understand? None of it. See yourself the way your children see you. These girls almost didn't exist. Why? Because I didn't think I was capable. I didn't think I deserved them. I thought I was destined, because of my previous evidence, to fail them. I will never be perfect. I don't give two poops about being perfect, because it doesn't exist. If you want to be perfect, you should also be looking for a magical unicorn to jump on and ride away into the sunset, because that doesn't exist either. Your kids don't need you to be perfect. Do you hear what I'm saying? Your kids don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be happy, healthy, thriving, joyous, celebrating yourself every single day. Do you follow me? They don't care if the house is clean. They don't care if your hair is perfect. But they do care about how you see yourself, because if you want to be the best role model possible, show them what love is. Here and here first. So, too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are. Start taking inventory of what you are every day instead of what you didn't do that day. You believe in yourself, number one, before anybody else. Prove yourself to yourself, not others. You're not here to satisfy what other people think you should be. Do you get that? Do it for you. That's good enough. We do things for our kids all the time, but have you ever thought about just doing it for you? Why not? Do you not deserve? You do. So here's the 3 things I'm going to leave you with today. If you want to take these and put them into action so that you can be reminded of what you're doing. Number 1, why? Why is your dream, vision, or version of more a non-negotiable? Whatever it is, if it's continued education, increased financial freedom, traveling more, hobby, whatever it is that you want to do and were placed on this earth to become, you have to figure out why is it a non-negotiable. I can't go back to that other version of me because that's not the version I deserve, and because that's not the version my children deserve. That's non-negotiable. I will do the work. What are the tools you will need? Biggest one that I lacked, asking for help. I can do everything my own. I'm strong. I'm a warrior. I'm independent. Every time I've trusted anybody, they've done me wrong. So you know what? No, you're going to need help. Ask the right people. Speak up. Evidence. What is your biggest accomplishment? Right now, before I leave this stage, I want you to, I'm not going to do anything weird to you, I promise. Close your eyes. Go ahead. I only got one working out, but I can see if yours are open. Close those ojos. And I want you to envision the greatest accomplishment you've had. And don't even try to go, and I don't have one. I'm going to come around, I'm going to smack you so good, you're going to ask for more. Envision it. Do you see it? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Hopefully it smells good. How did you feel about yourself during that? Okay, open your eyes. Give yourself credit and celebration every single day. So before I go, is there one person that would be willing to tell me what the thing was that they envisioned? Don't make me call you out. Yes, thank you.
I'm graduating with my bachelor's degree.
Stand up, Mama. Stand up and say it loud.
I just graduated in June with my AA degree as class valedictorian at College of the Canyons, and I'll be graduating from CSUN in December with my bachelor's degree.
So we do one more. Stand up, Mama.
I was addicted to heroin and meth. I got sober 2 years ago.
I would love to hear every single one of your stories. You all have one. Do you remind yourself of that accomplishment every day? Or are you too busy thinking about what you still haven't done? Because that is your evidence. That is your evidence. That is your evidence. You have evidence. You have evidence that you're already capable. You don't need more. And you don't need it from other people. Do you understand that? It's all right here. You are enough. Can you say that with me? Say, I am enough.
I am.
Oh, that wasn't enough for me. Let's try again. Ready? I am enough. You are enough. You're going to have to say that more than once a day. Do you believe me?
Yes.
Do you believe that you are enough?
Yes.
Do you believe that any of the obstacles you've overcome are simply stepping stones to your greatest next chapter? Then create it. No one's going to create it for you. Understand? Why don't you stand up and give yourself another round of applause? Because you guys are all awesome. Go ahead, do it. I am so honored to be in a room of this many, this caliber of women. You have a purpose. You are the ripple effect. What can you do to create that in your own children and in their generation and all the people around you? That is your purpose. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much.